Barb asked about missions, going on mission trips, supporting missions, my mission-mindedness. And I can answer that by saying that I have been and I continue to support short-term missions. I think that's very critical. I think a church absolutely just gets to experience the power of God working in a cross-cultural environment and brings that back to the congregation. Every congregation is blessed when a mission team returns, and they are blessed for a long time because of it. So yes, 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 absolutely. And I think it's very important to see missions kind of in growing circles, according to Acts chapter 1, verse 8, where we can see missions are in our county, in our area, north, east, Utah, and see that as our first mission area, and then see missions also as North America even, where we can do missions in North America, and then there's missions to the uttermost parts of the world. And so I've been involved in all of those categories in my time in Alaska and in South Carolina. Yeah, absolutely. And then Kevin, the man with the beard. I've got beard envy. That's looking good. Him and Jeff, yeah, and Rick, I got nothing. Okay.
So when it comes to growing disciples, how do you see the role of workbooks and textbooks in a Bible study environment?
Okay. He wants to know in the context of growing disciples, how do I see workbooks and textbooks in growing disciples? Good question. I think that discipleship doesn't actually happen in a classroom. I don't think discipleship happens from the pulpit. Discipleship has to be relational. It has to be personal. It has to be an intimate connection between two people. Jesus didn't make disciples by teaching them from a booklet. He walked with them in their lives. And that's where discipleship happens. It has to be an intentional, long-term commitment, long-term accessibility for discipleship to really happen. You can't really achieve discipleship going through a book. But in that context of a long-term relationship between you and me, where we're walking together down this path, we need resources, and oftentimes textbooks and workbooks are those resources, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I did at Wayland. I talked about the Master Life book, which costs $10. It's one of 4, and so for $40 you do 6 months of going through these workbooks. And the whole purpose of this Master Life workbooks, which comes from Lifeway, is to get a person to the point where they are reproducing themselves, a reproducing disciple. That's the goal of the Master Life series. And so 6 months of studying those books, one-on-one with somebody, then you start really walking alongside them as they're developing ministries on their own. And then so it becomes a long-term relationship. And so I'm not involved in everybody's life that has sat down at a table with me and done those 6 months. I'm not. And the vast majority only do one book and don't do the 6 months. But I'm involved now, right now, in the lives of an awful lot of them. And they are involved in my life. And so they become part of my council of godly men, or they advise me and pray for me, and I advise them and pray for them. Does that come close to answering your question? Oh, all right.